Look at those faces! Oh my god! They look so good. So very good. Who do I even begin with? I think I go humans because that seems to be the. Oh, actually, it says they're unremarkable in battle. They've changed. Why don't we do Amevians? And you can see we've got no titles to our name other than the Slaver, which is strange. I think they have not been made available yet. Oh, look at that new map generation. If you couldn't tell and you can read, this is the EA V.65 Early Access V.65. This is going to be just a little bit of an introductory of what's coming for the new Early Access build, which will be beta soon. Hello and welcome, welcome. We have chosen the Amevian race, and I am not starting yet. I normally would play the game, but I have so much to cover for the Early Access V.65. We've got so much new icons. Look at these icons for fruit, vegetables, grains all changed, opiates and herbs. Their faces are different. You can see they're actually they're described as plebeians. So now these are our plebeians, not our citizens. And we have a whole new UI system. Technology, money is different, enemies are different. You can see our goods, the way they're stored here. We can see our treasury, the way it's stored here. Tourism. Technology is extremely different. Everything has a new symbol, new way of researching. So I have no clue how to play. I'm really at a loss. When I come in for the new series, I'm going to be back at the beginning, back at the baby level. So you can see we have the basic Boyer still. That's going to be what I'm going for probably. And we're playing as Amevians. So we're going to want to get fishery going. You can see this is our world map and factions. These are our neighbors. They seem to be neutral to us. You can click on them and you'll see that this is their leader. Led by the humble Mer. I think that's what his rank is. And I ain't gonna try to say whatever that is. And the same Mer. So that must be king. And you can see their beautiful amounts of money, their distance from us, their amount of subjects, and their enemies who they have none of. So he did all that, and that's under one dep, Jake. He also put in roads that start and lead to your capital. So I put my throne room here next to this road, and I'm going to build out this way. And there's another difference too. As you can see, this whole bottom bit is completely different. If I go into work, you can see there's a lot of the basic stuff still crafting for the carpenter, the baker. You've got your mines, your fishery, husbandry, and farms all under one tab now. Infrastructure is different. So if I look at water, in order to move any of this, I need plumbing. Actually need technology to do that. So the water I have is the water I have until I can adjust that. Same, we've got law, that's the same. Recreation is the same, logistics is about the same, and admin should be the same. Yep, everything is the same there. Military, roughly, yep, it's all the same. And we've got new little shrines. So you can create a shrine instead of a temple to start to boost their daily worshipping. So let's say I wanted to worship Krator, I could put a shrine in, and the people will start to worship Krator via there. We've got speaker, well, lavatory, and a grave, as well as our housing. Finally, you've got your move your throne options, janitor, workstation, construction area, I guess, like same as it was before, and hunt. Hunting is a item, I believe, you could place near the corner of the map or somewhere nearby. It doesn't have to be near the corner of the map. And I believe they will start. Oh, actually, no, this is a hunt option. So just like you can tell people to go and gather wood, you can now tell them to go and hunt a specific animal. And there's also another way. I don't know if it's under farming. It was one of. I'll find it later. I know that. But there's a way to send people out to hunt in the world. So they will leave this place and they will actually go and hunt for things. And you can see I chose this desert map because that is another addition to the new update. You can now build houses. Let me see, it should be under here. Without using any resources. So this is a mud building. It requires no resources. It takes a lot of time and labor, but it is built for free. So if you lived in the middle of nowhere and you couldn't afford to put stone or wood, you can actually build a house out of mud. And that is what this is built out of. It is a mud building. Another thing I've been very excited for is you can see there's skeletons and sticks and stones all around the ground. And usually by the coast, like the ocean, you'll start to see starfish and other things. I don't think there's anything next to this lake, although I do see lily pads. And I believe there's a lot more just ambience. So the game is just 100 times better than it was. And what I'm going to do for this episode is I'm going to try to gather something of a little civilization, a little town, and come back to you guys with what I've learned, see how far I can get. Look at everything is so different now. The crate sizes are different. The workmen are different. The sizes of the workshops are different. Everything has changed, but it's all going well. So far, our little town has a fishery with 3 guys working there, and they're gathering fish every day. We've got a little Globdian pasture and a house. These houses now house 10 people instead of the previous 7, I believe. I might have 4. Because, yes, it was 4. But you needed 5 of these to make 20. Now you can fit 10 guys in this area. So there's 5 guys working in this area. We've got a total of 6 carpenters working here. I'm actually going to drop that down to 4. So that we have a spare couple workers. We've got another house over here, just far away from these warehouses and carpenter workshop. And I have this main road so that they have to travel it, obviously. But I'd like to keep the throne over here along the main road. And we've got this janitor who's working very hard to try to repair all of these destroyed roads. We've got random guys out here in the fields gathering resources. The ultimate goal is to go into our world map here. You can see Aegis is one of our neighbors. I can look at our diplomacy and I can offer up a trade. See, his opinion is 0.38. And if I offer some resources like that, things I don't care about, his opinion starts to go up. So the goal is I'm going to give him as much as I can to make him happy. Things that don't really matter to me. We still don't have enough. Even with all of that. Okay, so how about this? We're gonna do it. He seemed to be interested in our stone. So we can give him a bunch of stone there. And that will be enough. So now we have a trade option with him. We can trade with him. We could look at his goods right here. The price and the sell price. So you can see the price is based at 5. They're selling it at 25 and they're buying it at 4. Their priority is 48, which is not very high. This, I believe, is the closer to 0, the less they need it. So you see they're buying and selling at the same price as regular. So they don't really seem to need it. I think the higher it is, the more they need it. But I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. You can see how much they have stored. You can see all of the details. So you can see they don't have very much gems. They might be more interested in buying gems for 27 a pop. Or wood, which they don't seem to care about. Livestock, not too excited for that. But the goal is to kind of find what they like and sell it to them. And the same, we're going to look at these guys, and their opinion of us is very low. So they're not going to want to do a trade, and these guys the same way. So we're going to have to wait. But we do have a friend in need in case anything happens. And eventually we'll try to get some actual diplomacy going. But so far so good. Our city it's actually, or should say township here, it's actually doing pretty well, all things considering. And I have these two split up where one stores resources and the other stores food. I probably should have this one storing wood, as it's right next to the workshop, the carpenter workshop, but it's okay. We can adjust that stuff later. I'll probably rearrange this entire area too. But for the beginning, it seems like the game kind of pressures you to start small. Not to go too quickly. Because you can see I don't have this yet. The training ground comes when we're a Frontex, which is, I believe you have to check in this here. Factions, status here. So we're a Mer. A Mer is the head of the lowest of a noble house. The people who follow you who know not to expect much. So it's 0 to 15 people. And Emir allows us to unlock the laboratory and gives us a boost to happiness and immigration. Amarir is giving us an export and import depot and a boost to happiness and immigration as well. And it keeps going and keeps going. All the way until you get to Asta Invicta. You've got Asta, Sorax, Ray, Sorax, Dakari, Ray. And I believe these are made up terms. I do like them. Because the Mir Bob of Unaleska. I can change my name to Fiend, Mir Fiend. What the hell? That's not Fiend. And your faction name we can change, but I don't believe you can change your capital name. So you see, our capital is stuck at that name, Unaleska. Kind of annoying, because I've had a rather unfortunate name for one of my cities. And I kind of wanted to change it, but I couldn't. Sorry, that'd be the yawn. But I'm going to continue on and see if I can't get us to the next milestone. Look at that. Look at our little beautiful town. We've got a shrine to a minion. We've got a market full of food and a market full of goods. These are food stalls, actually. This is a market. And I also noticed something. There's your typical bow, but there's two new weapons other than the sword. There's a long sword, which is a two-handed long sword, and a brute force warhammer. I believe this is a two-handed weapon as well. So characters can be equipped with a shield and a sword, a long sword or a hammer, or plate armor or leather armor. Now these add a lot. A lot of people were complaining that there weren't enough weapons and not enough tactics. So now you have some tactics right here. Well, we've got a laboratory, tiny little laboratory. We've got our janitor, our throne, and a lavatory. So our downtown area is looking good. This is what I'd call a good start. You don't need any of the canteens like you used to. The only thing you need is a food stall, and people will come and grab that food and eat it. My food may look low, but in reality, it's all filled up in here. So there's a pretty good number of food being consumed from there. And the population I have, 35, is probably good for where I want to be. We have another Globdian pasture because I was getting too many livestock. So we're going to make small little Globdian pastures all around the city, kind of like this, probably. Or maybe even do one like that. And the idea is that I'd like to have Globdians and fish out the ass. We've got our little fishery here. Only 3 guys working there, and they're getting 420 fish, which is fantastic. I love to see it. You can see that these houses are getting a little bit of upgrades to them. They've got their wood and their stone coming in. And for the most part, we're doing really well. I built this clay pit because I thought we needed an eatery. We don't need an eatery. So the clay we're just building up passively. And the ultimate goal is to we have to find an easier way to get to this status here. We need to get to a Prontix. That will allow me to make a training ground. Once I get the training ground, then I can start to prepare for fighting my neighbors. But if I was to look at the world map, these guys are no joke. These three here, they would beat me up. But these guys, they wouldn't. So the goal is to quickly try to get there. You can see they have 10 humans. I don't know if that means there's only 10 guys there. Yeah, no, the total population is 10 people in this city. So we could easily walk over there and take them with like 12 guys. We just need to get there first. We need to make sure our food is situated. So far, so good though. I think I'm going to wrap this up as I have been playing for quite a while, and this took a while to get to. But I'm feeling really, really good. I'm feeling like the dev and I are clicking. I'm feeling like YouTube and I are clicking. I feel like it's all clicking, it's coming together, and there's going to be a beautiful Songs of Six series coming. Just look at it, man. Look at these stalls and the new weapons. They're going to add a lot. We're playing with the hardest race, in my opinion, one of the hardest races, because if you look, if I go to their stats here, they hate everybody except for Talapi. And if I go look at Talapis, I don't even think Talapis like them. So you can see their preference is at 0, 1%, 40% for those guys. If I was to go back to my Mevians here, oh, they're right here. You can see that they do not like anybody. They tolerate Garthamy. They do not like Argonash. They do not like Cantors. They don't like pretty much anyone. And it's weird. It's very weird. They don't seem to want to be a part of this world. Now, if I looked at Cretonians, on the other hand, Cretonians are friendly with pretty much everyone, minus humans. They don't seem to like humans or Garthamy. But I'm interested in starting new series and each different race to see how they play, kind of see how I feel about them. I'm really enjoying the Amevians so far because I like their appearance. I like the way they look. Like, look at that guy. He looks really kind of creepy. He looks fucked up. And they're just badasses. You feel like you're your own thing, you know, when you're playing as a different race like this. So I prefer these guys for now, especially with the new update, because it seems to go around water. And I believe there is something I forgot to mention. So terraforming. You can terraform, but you can only terraform things that have groundwater. So if I click on this, you can see there's groundwater around here. So I could technically terraform this out a little bit and make a little bit more water, giving some more space for the fishery. But for now, I'm not going to do that. And I also wanted to go check for, should be under here. We have our culvert, canal, water. There's supposed to be bridges, but I do not know where they are. Maybe it's under roads. Nope. I know he had added the concept of a bridge, but it seems like I cannot find those bridges. Ooh, I do like these new decorations. We'll find out about that bridge situation. But until I get there, we're going to continue on what we're doing. And I thank you for all for watching. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye. Say goodbye to Wowen Clear. Goodbye.